hopefully by the end of the day, we'll have another running truck in the dually.
Several years ago, I cut our family's Suburban in half, creating this crazy 9-passenger truck we called the Kid Hauler. What started as a necessity build to haul our fifth wheel and to take the whole family camping ended up being a unique daily driver that gets lots of attention. This worked so well that when I sold it, I immediately started on the next one. We still call it the Kid Hauler, and this is the story of how we keep it and other family vehicles running. You're watching Kid Hauler Garage.
All right, so here it is. We got our flex plate in. So here's the new flex plate. There's the old one. Smaller bolt hole pattern for the crank. Here's the 6.5. So we can take and put this together, line up the holes. Kind of hard with one hand. So anyway, you can see that it's going to line up with all 6 holes of the transmission. It is different than the 6.5 crank, so but it is the same for the 5.7 350 Vortec. That's going to work good. We got our computer back. So this computer has been reprogrammed so that we can run the 350. Here's the old computer. We're going to be able to unplug that, plug the new one in, run a 4L80 with a 350 in the dually. So we're going to get on that and get that buttoned up and put together, and hopefully by the end of the day we'll have another running truck for free. So all it cost us was some time. That's kind of fun. So here we go. Okay, so we got the engine in, and right now it is sitting in the motor mounts. We fought it all the way. This is the only casualty we had. It's an oil pressure switch, sender, whatever you want to call it. Difference between a sender and a sensor. I think this is a sender. We're gonna have to replace that. Fortunately, I've got a couple of parts trucks. Now that we got the motor in there, we gotta connect everything back up, wire it up, finish bolting the torque converter together. Okay, so got the engine in. Have started buttoning stuff up. As of right now, I've plugged the computer in and I've got most of the stuff routed. Got to do something about the power steering because it's not used to having all this mess. I got to reroute the power steering lines so that it takes into the brake booster and all that jazz. But I got that diesel tank converted to gasoline by taking and putting the gasoline sender in. Now the pump's in the fuel tank. It doesn't have exhaust, so it's going to be loud. And as you can tell, it's not happy. I don't have the exhaust hooked up. I don't have the O2 sensors hooked up. So, of course, it's trying to figure out what to do. But it's running in the truck. We can go from there. Okay, guys, so I'm back in the shop again, and I've got an idea. It's kind of a crazy idea, but be that as it may, I need to come up with a solution where I can take and haul the rock crawler long distances and do it lightweight, hopefully keep the fuel mileage down, and keep myself open to other options. So doesn't matter what wheelbase it is, you know, I can haul wood with the truck, I can do multi-purpose stuff. I think what I'm coming up with is building some sort of similar to a wheel lift on a tow truck, only mounted on the frame. So then it would pivot there, and it would be strong enough with that pivot pin to handle the front weight of the vehicle, and then build some sort of a trailer that would mount to the undercarriage of the Suburban, and the rear wouldn't be quite this high off the ground, so it would cut down on wind drag. I'd still have a flatbed from like here forward that we could take, and we could put dirt bikes or some ATVs or something like that on there, and then it wouldn't matter what wheelbase I towed with this tow truck. So I could tow the 6-door, and then have some sort of a gin pole set up from back here that we could take and lift things with. If I need to take that tow dolly and lift it up onto the flatbed, we have a mechanism that would be collapsible where we could do that. I don't know, just playing around with some ideas right now. That's what I'm thinking. What it looks like at the end is probably going to change. So maybe some sort of a mix between a drop deck trailer and a log truck trailer. I don't want to have to build a compensator with a couple of different pivot points and moving parts that slide back and forth. But I'm thinking some sort of a mix between a tow truck that had like a wheel lift, only be a little bit higher. This chassis has got a massive, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but it's got a massive sway bar or anti-sway bar in the rear, almost like an ambulance would have, and they're really top heavy. It's also got one in the front. So this was originally a service truck for city, and it had a big 9-foot long service box on it, heavy, full of tools. So it was made so that it didn't sway a bunch. But I think I'm going to use that to my advantage and be able to take and haul cars. So, and then I don't have to pull a heavy trailer. I can do it basically with just the truck. It'd be similar to flat towing as far as fuel mileage was concerned, except for I've got 2 less tires on the ground. So this dolly trailer that I'm thinking about building with Suburban frame that I've got, a 3/4 ton frame, but it would have highway tires on it, and they wouldn't wear out my mud tires while I'm going to Moab or something from Missouri, or even further to the Rubicon or the Pacific Northwest or something like that. So they're just some ideas that I'm kicking around, and right now the build is not costing me anything. We kind of got the truck for free. I bought it for a parts truck, and we took the parts that we needed off of it. We sold the service bed, and we sold a bunch of other stuff. So essentially we're into the truck, no money. And then we took an engine from another truck that was given to me. Didn't have a transmission, but it had a running engine, and reprogrammed computer, was able to make that work. So it's running and mobile right now. I've still got to fix some exhaust stuff, whether it's going and getting another junker, picking up scrap, hauling scrap to the yard. We've got 10 or 15 miles between our place and mom and dad's where we cut wood. That's just some ideas that I'm kicking around. Make a wood truck, tow truck, yard truck, whatever you want to call it, truck, and kind of do it on the cheap. And the bonus, so if I'm using the Suburban frame, it's got a 14 bolt in it. So if we're going out to Moab, we'll have spare parts for the axle already built into our trailer. Could wind up being totally stupid, but it could be pretty cool. This is what we got. It's been about a week or so, maybe 2, since I got the 1-ton running. Calling it the service truck, the tow truck. I'm not sure what we're going to call it right now. There are a couple of differences in the wiring harness between the 6.5 diesel in the 98 and the 5.7 gas in the 96. How the heater circuit is powered. So right now we've got that repinned. In the 98 it has a couple of ground terminals for the fan here. So, but that's all powered up by the red circuit. In the 96 it's a 3 pin connector. In the 98 it's a 2 pin, but it just uses 1. So got that repinned. The other thing, once we get the new dash in here, we rearrange a couple of the wires, but once we get the new dash in here, this is for the stereo. So the stereo will not work if we can't plug it in. So it's the same number of wires, same kind of connector, it's just that it's like this, the white one. So where it's indexed is exactly 180 out of where it should be. So I've got another connector. We're gonna go ahead and swap that out, repin that from this guy right here, and then we should be able to plug this guy into where that blue connector is. So I hope that helps somebody. A whole day process trying to figure out the differences between the two trucks. They really are a lot more different than I thought. Time to do some research, huh?